You've definitely heard the term. It's a piece of technology we all hope is never, ever needed, but one that holds some incredible secrets. So today, we're going to unlock the real story behind the airplane's black box. Right, it's just become part of our vocabulary. Anytime you hear about a plane crash investigation, the black box is probably the very first thing that pops into your head. We kind of see it as this single, mysterious object that holds all the answers. But here's the thing. There's a fundamental truth about it that most people get wrong, and I promise it's going to completely change how you picture this device from now on. Okay, so here it is. The biggest myth is literally in its name. An airplane's black box? Well, it isn't black at all. It's actually painted this super vibrant, impossible to miss international orange. So why orange? I mean, of all colors, why that one? Well, the answer is actually perfectly logical. It's a color chosen for the exact opposite reason its name would suggest. Its entire purpose, its whole reason for being, is to be recovered. The color isn't about looking cool, it's about survival and, most importantly, discovery. Let's be honest, after a catastrophe, black would be just about the worst possible color for something you desperately need to find. Just think for a second about the extreme places where search crews have to look for it. Imagine trying to find a small object at the bottom of the deep ocean, or scattered among the greens and browns of a forest, or even in the charred aftermath of a fire. Orange is like a beacon in all that chaos. It's specifically designed to stand out against water, earth, and ash. But, being easy to spot is only half the battle. It also has to be in one piece. This thing is an absolute marvel of engineering, built to withstand forces that destroy pretty much everything else around it. Get this, it's built to withstand temperatures of up to 1100 degrees Celsius. To put that in perspective for you, that is hotter than the melting point of aluminum, hotter than most house fires. It's designed to survive a massive blaze and keep the priceless data inside safe and sound. But the color isn't the only secret we've been keeping. There's another really common misunderstanding about the black box itself. You see, when we talk about the black box, we're actually talking about a pair of devices. There are two of them, and each one has its own super important job. So those two devices are the flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder. Think of the flight data recorder as the plane's diary. It logs hundreds of different details: the speed, the altitude, how the engines are doing, the position of the wing flaps, basically the whole story of the machine. But the cockpit voice recorder, that tells the human story. It captures the pilot's conversations, the alarms going off, the final critical moments from inside that cockpit. This incredible technology didn't just appear out of nowhere, right? It came from a person, an inventor, who saw a really profound need for something like this. His name was David Warren. He was a brilliant scientist doing aeronautical research down in Australia back in the 1950s when he came up with this truly revolutionary idea. But for David, this wasn't just some engineering puzzle he had to solve. No, it was driven by something much, much deeper. It was a mission rooted in personal loss. You see, way back in 1934, David Warren's own father was killed in one of Australia's earliest air disasters. That tragedy, that complete lack of answers, it stayed with him. He knew firsthand the awful silence and the mystery that follows a crash. His whole motivation, his driving force, was this idea that planes should be able to speak after they fall silent. The flight data recorder gives a voice to the machine, and the cockpit voice recorder gives a voice to the crew. Together, they make sure a plane can tell its final story, even long after it has fallen silent. So, knowing all that, let's circle back to that original name we started with, the black box. The name itself suggests a void, doesn't it? An absence of information, something dark and hidden. But now we know the reality is the complete opposite. So instead, I want you to picture a bright orange beacon of hope, a resilient, brilliant invention that was born from tragedy, designed for one single purpose: to survive the absolute worst darkness and bring the invaluable truth back into the light.